Hello, beautiful Pisces, and welcome to take 3. You guys will not know this, but of course, I just feel like I'm saying stuff and rattling on for no reason. So I'm going to try to keep it close to the breastbone and give you what's coming through. Okay. So the spiritual guidance for today is as above, so below. The shift away to new potential was still with this card. As above, so below in this particular deck, it says dualism is an illusion. The events on earth reflect the events in heaven. Man and woman contain the pattern of the universe. So I feel that it's the opposite, contrast and light, masculine, feminine, all of those things, the heads and tails. There is no split between them in the middle. If you really look, that's kind of they mirror each other, but they're part of the same. I love this image because it really shows the truth. There's no gap here. There's no separation. They're just reflecting each other. And if you can keep that in mind when things come in to teach you something new, even when it's not that comfortable, you can probably get a lot more from it by seeing it in that way. Even when here I go again. Even when there are some people in this planet that you can't possibly think that you are at one with, who you're thinking, we're all one with each other. So if they antagonize you, it's time to kind of think to yourself, first of all, see where they're coming from. Maybe they're coming from if they're fed up. Maybe they're fed up with their jobs. Maybe they're very miserable. And all of this venom that they're shooting out at people, if the people can realize how they get triggered by it and why, feel bad for that person, sympathize for them being at this point in their lives, or they're just, antagonizing everybody, and also thank them for making you stop and understand that there's something that you need to work on as in a trigger. Okay? So, and maybe even find a solution, of what, it depends on what the conversation was about. Okay? I don't know if you can understand this, but sometimes you get triggered, the conversation, and it's asking you to look further. Sometimes it's not apparent right away. You have to give it a bit, but it'll eventually, the message will come through. Okay? Nurture. Right. 29:11. So important. And that's Ceres. I don't know what Ceres is, Pisces, but I will take a look and we will talk. Okay, they're asteroids. That's why I don't know. I don't know everything. So, it's a dwarf planet between Mars and Jupiter named after Ceres, Roman goddess of the harvest, food, earthy, fertility, and mother of Proserpina, goddess of the spring. It says when Pluto kidnapped her and took her to the underworld to be his queen, Ceres threatened to starve the world until she was returned. Ceres signifies our relationship to food, for better or worse, cultivation, and the safety or loss of a child. Ceres' ancient rites initiated people into the secrets of death and rebirth through the symbolic harvest. Cut the heads off grain with a scythe, bury them, and new life arises. Okay, so it feels like the cycles of harvest, right? Yeah. The action that says mother and be mothered. Nurture and cultivate which is growing, whether it's the harvest from the earth, the child from the womb, or the art from the artist. Real love can mean tough love, doing what's best for your beloved, even they hate you for it. Love and nurture your own body with healthy whole foods. Take them as communion with the organic world. Fill the earth between you, holding you, loving you through hard times. Let this abundance flow through you to others. Advocate for those who are weaker, vulnerable, or dependent. If your progeny, your project, or your harvest is being taken from you before ripening, be ready to starve the world until they are safe. Witness with strength and power. When the time is right, be willing to let go. For your progeny or creation to flourish, they must embark on their own journey. Once your job as a nurturer is complete, let go and step into the next level of your own mastery. There is sacredness in your own daily life. Loving, feeding, nurturing, gardening, and being in family, whether chosen or biological, are all part of the powerful spiritual path the Mother holds you. This is very much about your relationship with others and how to, all I could hear is boundaries and nurturing yourself. Honestly, that's all I could hear through all of that. I was reading and I thought, this is about nurturing. It's about understanding their role in your life, and it's understanding also that you need to set boundaries. Like they said that thing, if you're ready to starve the world so that they understand the point. You know, it's not being mean. It's just not... I will give you the example that I've been saying. When you witness and observe something, you're not engaging people in toxic behavior. When you're not engaging them, they might get very upset. Okay, they might be like, why isn't she feeding me the negativity and the anger that I'm feeling? And that's how you're starving them. You're starving them of that negative emotion that gets them to keep going. You're saying, no, this is the boundary and I won't do it. And there's a better way and there's a harvest to be had that's much better than what you're feeding me. Do you understand? So that's what this is coming through with this. So you have to focus on your harvest. You have to nurture the energies that you are sharing with. You have to get the lessons, but it's also important to not engage more than you need to, okay? That's something we all need to learn. Oh my God, I spend way too much time with when somebody really, you know, somebody comes in and really triggers me. Whoa! You know, sometimes it takes me a while to get out of there. So it's very important that, okay, 46, the 8th house mystery. Ooh, this is kind of a, it's an interesting looking card. You got all the colors of the chakra. You have flowering, but you also have death. Interesting. And 10, almost like a concluding card. Let's see. Let's see what this one has to say, Pisces. These are interesting cards today. Very interesting. Okay. So let's see. If your chart were a village map, the 8th house would be the corner of the red light district next to the mortuary and savings and loans bank. It is a private house where we deal with things we don't talk about in public. Sex, debt, loans, psychic phenomenon. Here we deal with other people's resources and how they are exchanged. Money, bodies, thoughts, and work, and how we inherit goods and attitudes. This house can feel uncomfortable, but it's a place where we can transform. Okay. Assess the power dynamics between you and other people around important resources, like sex, money, and inheritance. Notice if a relative or boss withholds money until you behave, or you or a lover withholds sex until some other need is met. Just get clear in your own mind if anyone is pulling strings and trying to heal, and try to heal dysfunctional dynamics and clear. Again, this is the thing. This is you putting boundaries, but it's almost them trying to withhold something from you to get power over you. This is about manipulation, okay? And it's funny because that's what I'm talking about. I've had somebody who tried to manipulate me with, I needed something and they won't give it to me, and they're sitting within their power to manipulate that, and making my life, like, really hindering my life in that way. This says, seduce honestly. Not all strange sexual dynamics and unusual financial arrangements are a problem. If you understand your peculiarities, oh God, that's kind of peculiarities, I think, and don't feel coerced or controlled by them. They're just part of who you are. Investors, advisors, consultants, ministers, lovers, intuitives, brain trust, auctioneers, investigators all work with the 8th house affairs, and if they work with integrity, so do productively. Okay, so it's also telling you that you can work be productive in that kind of setting, even when it's, you know, so find somebody who will help you productively. I can't say that word, you guys. It's my French coming through. Okay. Develop your second house resources, your own money, sense of worth, and body confidence to strengthen your freedom and bargaining power, and operate in this realm with grace. Engage the resources handed to you, but make your own judgment call. The 8th house calls for one last freedom, to acknowledge that death exists and be fully alive in response. Okay. Face your worst fears and step through. Feel that liberation. The trap of manipulation falls away when you don't bite the hook. That's what I was telling you. Okay. So above this is that these people may be trying to manipulate you. It's a very like definite kind of reading today. Some of you may be feeling manipulated. So some of you may be taking my general readings and going, yes, but this situation is where somebody's trying to manipulate. Okay, you can always walk away. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like I said, I find that a lot of stuff happens to me now, weird stuff that I've just kind of walked away from, but it happens to me just before I'm about to do a reading, and I feel that it's because they're trying to tell me something at the same time. When this manipulation happened, I knew that it had something to do. It did affect me very much, but when I sat and thought about it without reacting to it right away, I realized that somebody was trying to keep me hostage. In other words, not giving me what I needed or I thought I needed. And there were other options. Okay. And there will be a way to deal with that in the end. I will put things in place and then I will revisit that person and tell them that their manipulation was clearly a manipulation, and I will have other people deal with them. In a way. I mean, today it's very hard for people to have very bad behavior without somebody knowing about it. I mean, you can put reviews. You can, nobody can hold you hostage freely anymore without getting told. So it's important that they understand that that behavior needs to stop as well. Okay? But the important part was for me to get the knowledge and the understanding of why that situation happened. I needed to look at different options. I needed to not be so reliant on that person. When you're not relying on that person for something, then it's very hard for them to manipulate you. So it's regaining your own power, okay? It's to take care of yourself and then embrace it and go. So above or below, they are no longer the antagonists. They become the person who offered you more wisdom, made you look further, made you look beyond. Okay? So I hope that's coming in clear. I felt like some of you are in that kind of situation. It could be, I feel, I will put it in simpler terms. Somebody's holding something over your head and you feel you probably need to do something about it. And if it hasn't happened to you, it may. Okay? And you might be surprised by it. Because sometimes we need something from other people. Let's say you're sick and you need to see a doctor and then they refuse to let you see a doctor. What do you do then? Okay? And it's because somebody's just, you're not on my schedule and your life is not important to me. Okay? And to you, that's what it feels like. So use any other type of, this is just an example, use any other type of thing, okay? So, by the way, the answer to that is to just, I don't know, go to a clinic, go to a walk-in clinic, go somewhere, okay, to get the help you need. You don't need to be manipulated by somebody on the phone or receptionist or, even though they make you feel, yeah, look for a new way, the Fool, okay? It fell on the ground, and as it fell, as I went to pick it up and go, oh, do I really have to go pick up this card? I thought, yes, you need. You need to look at it. You need to look at it. You need to find out what it is. It has the wheel on it. It makes me feel like the Wheel of Fortune, number 46. Just go on your way, okay? Figure out where you need to go with this. So this is spiritual guidance. Kind of weird for me to be talking about manipulation, but it will play a role. I do feel manipulation, okay? But the big message is that it's all the same thing, okay? It's all the same thing, right? It all leads you to your Ten of Cups, your happiness, your fulfillment. When you find answers or solutions to problems, when you walk away from manipulative people, and then at one point clearly indicate to them that they cannot manipulate people anymore, finding solution. And you may not even have to deal with that person. You just may give other people, let's say you write in the reviews, this person was withholding. If you're looking for a solution to that, there's this great clinic that will take you right away. You've just turned that, you've taken business from, let's say, that medical office and brought it to a clinic that's very kind, that will help you out. Okay, so that's the kind of stuff that I want. Turn it, shift it into something different. Okay, because some people may feel like they're stuck and they're trapped. You know, I need to see this doctor, but they won't let me. This I'm sorry to say that, but, you know, somebody who's not in a medical profession, who's just like a receptionist who's holding you hostage, you know. No, he can't see you, and he won't see you, and he doesn't have time, and no, you can't talk to him, and no, he can't call you back. And, you know, this could be like your family doctor, and you need to have some kind of, you know, and the way she's treating you is like you're garbage. Well, you know, you can, if you're going to write a review going, I called and this receptionist held me hostage. I know it's kind of mean, but I mean, it needs to be said. You know, maybe they'll review after how they treat their repeat customers, because in the medical profession, we are customers. And then you give a different way of going. So it's all together, okay? It's all links together, and you're making the world a better place without lashing out in anger and in pain. You're doing it more in a, well, this is the way, this, you know, this is what happened. You don't do it, you don't use swear words, you don't cuss. You just become the person who has a solution and an answer, and you may help other people as well, okay? Two of Cups, right. Find the harmony in the situation, okay? Don't let yourself feel stuck or bound or blocked like the Eight of Swords, you know, because in the end, you're the one, they told you a truth that may or may not be a truth. They told you that's their truth. You can't come here, I can't give you what you need. But then you turn around and say, okay, that's what you're telling me, but I have options. Okay? And for anybody who comes here and says, oh, you're talking about your life, I'm not. I'm talking about an example. I'm trying to make it simple, so that I'm trying to explain, to be less vague about the message that's coming through. So you can apply it to anything in your life. You can apply it to business deals, relationship manipulations, anything, okay? You need to sit and find, and it may not be obvious right away. Your mind just may want to lash out right away, okay, and be mean. And you know, meanness for meanness. But the thing is if you can take a moment and see that there is no separation between, you know, the light and the dark, the manipulative and the giving, and know that there's a fine line in the middle, you'll realize where the balance is. In the end, Pisces, it's all about balancing it out, okay? How can you balance out this situation so that it feels better and that people can have solutions to their problems? It really is. That's what it is. I still get it. Is this about you, Jane? Are you personal? Yes, I do talk about personal experience. It's also about reconnecting. Right. Okay, you have the darkness and the light, and that third component is the understanding. Well, I'm having a weird deja vu. It could be that I've already said this before, because I don't, you know, but there's always, this is the thing, there's always three in the room. Because everybody says, you know, there's the darkness and the light. And I'm saying there's the balance. And the balance, technically, if you want to get technical, it's the third component in the room. It's the one that makes this one and this one makes sense. Okay? It's the one that connects this one and this one together. When you have heads or tails, that's the coin that links both of them. Okay? So this is reconnecting things to put them back into balance. That's all this is really saying. There's a lot of words and a lot of talking here to just basically explain that phenomenon. Okay? But it's a spiritual guidance moment. So they're going to use any tactic and anything that they see fit within my brain and within their knowledge to get it across to you. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Alright, King of Pentacles. Perfect. So King of Pentacles, it's practical. He's a practical, pragmatic, abundant, wealthy, and successful person. Okay? And he's also stubborn, and I'm hearing that they're going to be stubborn in repeating this message over and over again. Because it's one that's easily forgotten. Okay? We get into situations, and then we think it's bad. It's good. It's this. It's that. Okay? It is what it is, but you can always look deeper. You can always look deeper and make it, find that third component. Sometimes it takes a little longer to find that third component, but it's the one that links everything together and makes it so good. It's, yeah, you have, let's say the baking, they're showing me baking powder and what else is in a cake, you know, the baking powder and the flour, I guess. But it's the water that brings them together, okay? That's so cool. Not a lot of water, but water, okay? Milk, water, whatever. Whatever brings them together, that puts the mix together, that mixes it all up, that makes it, it turns it into a cake that rises, okay? That the two components together with something else makes it better. So that is what this is, okay? Knight of Swords. The faster you get it, the faster you'll be moving in the direction that you need to be going. The faster that you'll understand what's happening, okay? All right. What am I going to be using here? Okay, so I took out the Wisdom of the Witches. This is a tarot, but I use it as an oracle. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I just like these. They're so pretty and they, I don't know. They speak to me. So let's see. 1, 2. My little sun and moon is moving around. It's very flexible. It has movement to it. That's 3. Okay. 2 cards, please. Okay, they said 3 because, well, I said there's 3 and there's 3, right? So I love that they put the World as 1 when in tarot. The World is like 21. It's the last card. They put it as the first card. Look at that. Burn the old, gold is in you. I mean, honestly, you can't have more. I mean, it's just this. There it is.